And you know, when I came here, the reason I wanted to come for Dave, and I thought it was so important, is because when I look at his opponent, I actually get a little bit angry. He has voted with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris 98% of the time. But this is what that means. When I think about what we should care about, I'm going to ask all of you to take the emotion out of this election. We need to take the emotion out of this election and really think about the policy and what it means for our kids and the next generation. That's our job. It's the next generation. And so I look at the economy, and I see that we have $35 trillion in debt. And I see that Bob Casey voted with Kamala Harris, with Joe Biden, on passing the Inflation Reduction Act. The Inflation Reduction Act was the total opposite. It was a surge of money, bless you, that went into our taxpayer dollars, that went into the system. It was supposed to cost $390 billion. It is now costing over $1 trillion. And 40% of the projects are stalled. Then he voted with Kamala Harris on the American Rescue Plan. Didn't rescue anybody. They took all of our taxpayer dollars, flushed it into the states on wasted projects costing $2 trillion. Then they go and pass the CHIPS Act. They love to brag about the CHIPS Act because they were saying we're going to build and manufacture chips in America. All in the name of national security. But you know what they did? They gave all of our taxpayers to these companies and didn't even require the companies to stop manufacturing in China. What a waste. There's no strategy to it. And do you know that we're still looking at over 70% of our employees, government employees, that are still working remotely all this time after COVID? 75% of our federal buildings are sitting empty all these years after COVID, and we are paying for that. Bob Casey did that to you. Then I look at the illegal immigration situation. 9 million illegal immigrants across that border. Almost 500,000 convicted criminals have crossed that border. And Bob Casey voted against building the border wall. Voted against 800 million that would have detected fentanyl. We all know people who have died needlessly of fentanyl. Bob Casey did that to you. And then I look at our energy sector. If we ever wanted inflation to come down, do you know the average household has spent more than $29,000 more in the last 4 years under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? The one thing that could really bring that down is to become energy dominant. Bob Casey voted against expanding fracking 6 times. I think he forgot which state he lives in. Who does that? And then he's willing to support a candidate for president that has said she's going to pack the court and she's going to get rid of the filibuster. That's who Bob Casey is. What got me was Bob Casey has been in this position 18 years. 18 years. What has he done for 18 years? How have you felt for 18 years? That's the problem. That's why I'm here. We need normal people. We need people who understand the value of a dollar. And what I know about Dave MacCormick is he has already signed a term limits pledge. We need everybody to sign a term limits pledge. He believes in a balanced budget amendment. We have to balance our budget. They have to balance our budget. And let me tell you, you should be as angry with Republicans and Democrats for all the spending they've done. They've forgotten the value of a dollar. They've forgotten what it means to spend those dollars. And Dave MacCormick is a businessman. He won't forget the value of a tax dollar when he gets to these seats. He supports stopping the illegal immigration. He supports making us energy dominant again, which is good for our national security. But more than that, he will bring truth back to Washington, D.C. That's what we all want. We all want to know that it's going to be somebody who fights for us. You know, I look at the situation, the reason why I care about this so much. I have a daughter who's newly married, and I hear her tell me how expensive her grocery bill is. I have a son, and we paid a lot of tuition for him to go to Villanova. But my Villanova grad today is worried about how he's going to pay for rent. The average homeowner in America is 49 years old. Our kids think that the American dream has left them. We've got to get it back to where they see an American dream again, where they have hope again, where they know that our best days are still ahead. But the only way we're going to do that is if we clean up what's happening in D.C. We've got to get Congress working again. Americans don't trust Washington, D.C. And the only way we're going to trust Washington, D.C. is if we get people who are willing to fight for us. Fight for us for the truth. Fight for our taxpayer dollars. Fight for our kids. Fight for law and order. Fight for all the things that has made this country great. That's what we need to do. So what I am excited about is Pennsylvania actually has a candidate. Pennsylvania actually has a fighter. He's a combat veteran. He knows what it means to sacrifice for our country. He's a business guy. He knows what it means to balance a budget and save dollars. He's a dad, not of one daughter, but of 6 daughters. He knows how to balance a lot. But more than that, he's a servant. I've known him a long time. He wants to do this for our country. But the other side of that is, when I tell you this can't be emotional, we have to do more than just elect Dave MacCormick. We have to elect Donald Trump. Because if Donald Trump wins Pennsylvania, Dave MacCormick wins Pennsylvania. Wife, to a mom of 2 kids, to the daughter of legal immigrants who never understood why others got a pass when they did it the right way, to a proud American, there is nothing I love more than reminding you that 6 days from now, during that time, go tell 10 people. Go tell 10 people that they need to get out and vote. Vote early if you have to make sure you get those votes in. If you can pitch in $5, $10, $25, help Dave, because this is an expensive race. Pennsylvania is not cheap. But more than anything, what you can get excited about in 6 days is not only does the noise go away, but Pennsylvania will have a great senator that they can be proud of. Give it up for Dave MacCormick!